Good. Call the meeting to order. All those that can, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Roll call, please.
It appears that Miss Lewis is not here yet. I'm not sure if she's coming, but the rest of us are here.
All right. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
I move to approve the agenda as presented.
Support, Sylvia.
Okay, moved and supported. Vote, please.
Mr. Howe,
Mr. Howe votes yes.
Mr. Charlotte,
Charlotte, yes.
Miss Frederick, yes. Clerk Flowers votes yes. Mr. Salvia,
Sylvia, yes.
Mr. Hamel.
Hamel, yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, consent agenda. Can I get a motion to approve?
I move to pass the consent agenda as presented.
Support, Sylvia.
Moved and supported. Any questions on that? All right. Vote, please.
Mr. Charlotte,
Charlotte, yes.
Miss Frederick, yes. Clerk Flowers votes yes. Mr. Salvia,
Sylvia, yes.
Mr. Howe,
Mr. Howe votes yes.
Mr. Hamel.
Hamel, yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, announcements. Farmers markets every Saturday through October 5th at the Highland Township complex here in Down Street. First concert of the summer concert series begins tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. in Veterans Park.
Elton John tribute band.
Let's cross our fingers that it's sunnier than today. You got that pegged for sure. Okay. All right, public comment. Anybody like to speak? Got 3 minutes. All right. Well,
I like to say, oh,
hold on. Push the button there on the, adjust the mic up to your, there you go. Thank you.
We just wanted to ask the Board of Trustees to take a look at the situation that's been going on with the food trailer and everything else in the township. There's just been a lot of things that have been said. We would just like to see a decision made one way or the other on what the ordinances are. Do we need a permit? If we do need a permit, then I would hope that this group of trustees could take a look at the situation that went on and why our permit was denied, why it was taken out of administrative approval. If it doesn't need a permit, we're hoping that the Board of Trustees will take a look at that and make a decision on whether or not vehicles are regulated or, mobile food trucks are regulated or not, or permanent structures. What you fall under the
All right. I can say that we are looking into that. So thank you. All right. Anybody else? Public comment? All right. We'll move on. Who do we have here from, is Tim here or not? So we're taking that off the agenda. All right, we have a presentation from Main Street, Oakland. That's apparently not happening at this point, so we'll put that on hold. If Tim should show up, we'll pick it up at a later time. Say what? All right, well, we're moving on. Okay, so first item is public hearing, which will open at 6:35. And that's for site-specific relief for file URSA 25-02 100 Lone Tree Road. Property identification number 11-27-351-005. It's public comment for that.
Philip Ration, my home address. 13185 Old Pine Drive, Brighton. Michigan 481.
I don't know if you guys want him to talk. He's the owner of the property.
Right. It's up to you. I mean, you got 3 minutes to make a statement now, or we can throw you in on the other side of it.
Throw me in on the other side.
All right. When we have our conversation, we'll let you be a portion of that.
Yeah, well, they'll open it again in a minute, so you can sit down.
Okay. Now we'll go backwards. All right. Nope. Okay. Public hearing is closed at 6:36. So we're going to back up to number 8, presentation, Highland Downtown Development Authority accreditation through Main Street, Oakland. And we have a representative from Oakland County. Tim, would you like to come up?
Good evening. Sorry for running late. So I come here, annually. We're getting used to this. But it's an important process that we go through. The Highland DDA is evaluated annually through a set of metrics that are set from Main Street America. And they're to meet certain performance standards, which they have consistently. Exceptional management, both with staff, volunteers, the board, a commitment to the 4 points. Everyone who's familiar with the 4 points, with design, historic preservation, and I think of things just not even a month ago now, right? Odds and Ends won an award for its quality work. You guys just did the ribbon cutting on the boardwalk. So again, you're showing real high standards on design. Your organization, which your volunteer management, your financial management, the way that you consistently been able to diversify your funding. Things like last year, I think that were brought to mind was the sponsorship package, for instance, which was a really high level thing you've done. Your promotion, and that's not just your events, which you do great events like concerts coming up, but it's promoting the downtown as a place that people want to be. And again, there's, things like your placemaking signage and your murals and all the things like that. That's all part of its design. That's also promotion. And then economic vitality, the things that you're doing organizationally to support the businesses, partnering with other communities this year. Again, another award that was won by the community with the Burger Battle partnership with South Lyon Township and Wixom. A great collaboration. Broad-based community support. Year after year, I come in here, I see that. That's always good. Your organizational capacity is strong. People always take advantage of trainings, go to the Main Street Conference, things like that, which are important. Strategy-driven support. You've done a fantastic job with that. You demonstrate the impact through your stats and through the promotional pieces that you do. So, again, all of these things show that the Highland DDA really is operating at a high level. And important to note, this year, it was 15 consecutive years of accreditation. So that's not a small feat. So with all that being said, I would like to once again present the accreditation, and this comes from Main Street America, to signify that for 2025,
the Highland is in the credit management program.
Okay. Now we'll move on to new business. Now this is now we're gonna well you can sit down for right now until we get rolling on this thing here. So okay, the new business is to consider site-specific relief for URSA 25-02 100 Lone Tree Road. Identification number 1122351005 to allow Pitch Hopper to reuse the former GTE Frontier Communications Maintenance Facility for offices, sales and distribution, research and development of the Pitch Hopper and other products for the construction industry. Applicant is Phil Rashid, Pitch Hopper, property owner, 100 Lone Tree LLC. So, Bill, you want to stand up? We'll Grant, you want to you got some pretty good familiarity with this. We'll let you
Yeah,
introduce what you've
actually,
been doing.
Beth gave Phil my number before it went to the planning commission, and we kind of spoke about some stuff. And where it came from was Beth was working with him on how to utilize that property, and there was this talk about like an existing use, and he could continue to use it as an existing use as long as it didn't get outside of the existing use. But there was this time frame thing where it had to be within a certain time frame. And I think Beth and I both kind of advised them that it's kind of your best interest to come in and get site-specific relief. And rather than trying to rezone it or something like that, get site-specific relief so that he can not be tied to this like grandfathered or continuing use type thing. So the property obviously was used by a telecommunications company my whole life that I can remember. And they had large reels of cable and bucket trucks and excavation equipment and all kinds of stuff out there. He owns a local company that he doesn't really manufacture them. He kind of distributes them out of the location in Highland already and in front of the high school there. And they basically are like something, it's like a foam block you put on the roof to be able to roof safely where you can like stand out. And so basically the findings for the planning commission were mainly that the property's been listed for quite some time now and it hasn't been utilized in any form. The office kind of usage that it's in kind of falls by the wayside in today's world. It hasn't been there hasn't been an abundance of need for it. We found that the character of the surrounding area will actually be improved because the usage that he's intending on it is actually less intensive. There's not nearly the outside storage or the amount of traffic that will be in and out of it because it's kind of like a design and warehouse development type stuff like that. Not like an actual shipping and receiving, like tons of stuff moving in and out. He actually has his location's right next to one of the pieces of property I own, and he operates, and they built a nice building there. So it really just came, there were some things, I didn't see it, Beth, in the motions that were made by, Guy, but there was some things that he added into his motion about, continuing the tree line and some stuff like that. Oh, is it? Oh, and then it's in the letter. Okay. I didn't see it in the minutes or whatever. But he did, and basically he offered us, it may or may not happen sooner rather than later, but in his proposed site plan, he did show that he planned to potentially put another building behind that building. And he did kind of show a fairly detailed plan of what he wanted to do with the piece of property. But the planning commission overall found that it wasn't going to be more intensive. He's already kind of got ahead of it and did a lot of tree planting and screening. But I think that covers most of it.
Yeah, just to back up a little, I want to explain the basic premise of this ordinance because you haven't seen this ordinance in 10 years. The basis of his approval would be, this is a use that's non-conforming. And as Grant said, there were the ticking time because if you vacate and abandon non-conforming use for a year, the use is lost and you're just a non-conforming use and you don't have a right to reuse it for anything other than the zoning would allow. It's zoned office. It's a significant steel warehouse building. Could it be changed to an office building? Yeah, but that disrespects the investment that's already there. So there's also a lot of vacant property around there that could be used as office that's more attractive for use of office. So to say that it will practically ever be reused for office is a stretch. So what this ordinance allows you to do is take a use like that isn't strictly conforming to the use list for that zoning district, recognize the investment that's there, recognize that it's compatible enough with the neighborhood and that there's things that they can do to mitigate the things that aren't necessarily compatible with the neighborhood and just make it work. But to support that, you need to have a finding of facts. And that's why that recommended motion is really long because it has, like a special use approval, it's got required facts and findings. So they're all written into your recommended motion there. Ms. May pointed out something she'd like to adjust to the recommended motion, and we'd like to insert in the first sentence where it says sales, distribution, and research and development. Right there, stick in a clause that says subject to a development agreement that will be recorded with the Oakland County Register of Deeds. But other than that, the Planning Commission did a knockout job, I think, for you of discussing the facts about this property and coming to their conclusions and drafting a recommendation for you. That does include some improvements and allowing him to do some future improvements. If it were just a non-conforming use, you could never invest in that property for that use again. The only investments that could be made for that property would be for a use that conforms to the site, to the zoning district, which is office. So this was superior to spot zoning, something that is contrary to the master plan that would fit his use, and it honors and respects and reuses a significant building.
I heard you do. Zoom was giving me a Zoom right here. So I don't know what anybody else is seeing on this, but don't pay attention to the screen or the man behind it.
Beth, I have a question. So is this like a use requiring special approval where everything needs to be, any site improvements need to be approved before they're built or adjusted?
Yes, this is just giving him the use approval. He'll still have to go through a site plan process. And of course, the development agreement has to be recorded first. That's going to put the limits on what we'll even accept there. It doesn't give him like a blanket, anything on say a industrial use list. It will tie him to what you agree to tonight.
And then if something happened and changes need to be made, they can come back and ask.
Yes, similar to another, special use.
Okay.
Well, I don't know what to say on that part. Sorry. I give up on it. Any other questions on it? Is there anything you'd like to throw in there on this?
I was proposing to put another roughly around 12,000 square foot building next to that, joined to it. I just want to make sure that wasn't an issue.
That's what threw me off as I was trying to find that image for you. Now, what's so I wish I would have had one of your hoppers there because what are you talking about? No. This is my big beef with this software.
Go back to.
I already started it. Didn't do it. Didn't work anymore. That's me. So, well, anyways, I fell off a roof that probably would have come in handy if I didn't have a hopper with me. So, 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 anyways, Zoom is zoomed out. I don't know what anybody else can see. So we'll just carry on as if it doesn't matter. This the meeting's more important here. So, I'm recording. Yeah. I don't know what's going on, but anyways, let's get focused back on the thing here. So, the board have any other questions? Yeah, Justin. Here we go. All right, Justin's helping me out. Leave it at that. I guess no other questions from the board, then let's
I can make the motion. It's a very long one. Bear with me. I won't. Move to grant site-specific relief for 100 South Lone Tree Road. Personal identification number 1127-351-005 to allow Pitch Hopper to use the former GTE Frontier Communication Facility for office space, sales, and distribution and research and development. Subject to, hold on. The development agreement agreed to with staff and the township attorney for the signature of the supervisor and clerk and recorded with the Oakland County Register of Deeds to document conditions of continued use. Luke, should I read the rest of that too? Yeah. I'll go back up. This relief is granted upon finding that the property is eligible for consideration under section 1802 of the zoning ordinance. Namely that one, the property which fronts on Lone Tree Road does not have reasonable value as office space due to its location and nature of the existing structure. Two, the applicant's difficulty in developing the property for office use is related to the near proximity of undeveloped properties zoned for office use. 3, the essential character of the surrounding area will be improved through aesthetic improvements to the site and the less intense nature of the proposed use. 4, the history of the site is that the facility was developed prior to the existence of zoning in Highland Township and recognizes that the existing structure has excellent bones to accommodate the proposed use. And 5, the reuse of the site is less intense than the previous non-conforming use and preserves that investment. No.
Nope.
Just go down to requirements for landscaping. Oh, keep reading. Okay. It's further agreed that the staff will work with the township attorney to draft a development agreement for the signature of the supervisor and clerk requirements. Oh, and recorded with the Oakland County Register of Deeds to document conditions of continued use, including requirements for landscaping, site improvements, and building facade improvements. And that the applicant will be permitted to construct an additional building on the site of approximately 1.5 times the existing structure, subject to the review and approval of the planning commission through the site plan process, consistent with the concept plan presented by UMLOR Group dated May 12th, 2025. The Board of Trustees has relied upon the statement of agreed upon facts developed by the applicant and staff at the pre-hearing conference and the report of the planning commission from its June 5th, 2025 public hearing. That is the end.
I'll support. There's just one thing we've said early on, very beginning. I just want to make sure we got on records that allow pitch operators. You said to use, and the word said to use at the very beginning. So let's make sure we've got that. Right. That's what we're looking at. To reuse the former. I think you just said the word use. That's the only thing I just noticed at the beginning. Make sure we've got that correct. But I'll
Reuse.
Support.
All right, now it's time for discussion, if there's any discussion on it. If there's no discussion, then we'll have a vote.
Ms. Frederick,
Frederick, yes.
Clerk Flowers votes yes. Mr. Salvia,
Sylvia, yes.
Mr. Howe,
Mr. Hall votes yes.
Mr. Charlotte,
Charlotte, yes.
Mr. Hamel.
Emily, yes.
Motion carries.
So before you leave the podium, I want to thank you and your family very much for locating in Highland. Many years ago, your dad and I met with him laying underneath a truck, trying to get the spare tire down. And the conversation that came from that was that he wanted to find a place in Highland to locate. And he and I had many conversations over where and what and so on. And it was very rewarding to see that he chose the spot he did and that he brought you guys to Highland to be a part of our community. And I want to thank you very much and thank him very much too. So I appreciate it. You're welcome. Good luck. Thanks.
Have you developed anything to keep our supervisor from falling off roofs and things of that nature? Thank you.
So let's put it this way. First time I said I should be tied off. The second time I said I should be tied off. The third time I said I really should be tied off. And the fourth time when I put my foot on the retaining 2x4 that I thought I had locked up, that's when I fell off. So, and I was right on the edge of the roof. So it probably would not have helped me because I hadn't had shingles and stuff on there yet. But I don't know. I stood on one up at Iverson's and it's pretty impressive. And I've seen it also on YouTube and it's come up on its own. So I really think you've done a phenomenal job of getting yourself out there with that. And best wishes to you. I mean, that's great to get a product like that on the market and be able to it's hard to produce that stuff. So yeah. I've been told I can't do that anymore.
It's forbidden.
But that doesn't mean I listen to what people tell me on those things. So well, thank you very much, Phil, and good luck. That is an awesome building. I mean, it looks like crap from the outside, but it's a great building on the inside. I mean, the structure is possible. It's perfect. So, well, thanks. Appreciate it. All right. The next item is, consider the introduction of a zoning map amendment, request for rezoning parcel 11/16/100/011/2061 Westfield. And they want to convert from ARR agricultural to rural residential, and rural residential to R3, single family residential with 3-acre density. The subject parcel is 10.16 acres. It's developed with a single family home on its southern third of the parcel. Parcel has 660 feet of frontage on West Wind, which is a private road currently serving 9 parcels. The home on the site was built in 1981. The Planning Commission held public hearing required by state law on June 19th, 2025. There was no public input. The Planning Commission recommended approval of the request. The approved minutes are included in our packet. In this particular case, this doesn't require us to make decisions. It's a reading, basically what I just did, and no action required tonight other than to introduce the amendment and establish it will consider for approval on August 4th, 2025.
I make a motion to introduce the zoning map amendment Z037. Request for rezoning parcel 11/16/100/011/2601 West Wind, approximately 10.16 acre parcel from ARR agricultural rural residential zoning district to R3 single family residential 3-acre zoning district for applicant owner Vince Pipitone.
Support, Sylvia.
Okay, moved and supported. Any discussion? Right, all in favor? Depends on what board I'm on here. Vote please.
All right. Clerk Flowers votes yes. Mr. Salvia,
Sylvia, yes.
Mr. Howe,
Mr. Howe votes yes.
Mr. Charlotte,
Charlotte, yes.
Ms. Frederick,
Frederick, yes.
Mr. Hamel.
Hamel, yes.
Motion carries.
All right, the next item is every year, as long as I've been supervisor, almost as long, the township has been asked to use its municipal and community credits towards through SMART. And so the SMART's community credit, these funds support the provision of local transit services, which Highland Township has opted to deliver through its partnership with Western Oakland Transportation Authority. SMART requires the execution of an interlocal agreement in order to facilitate the transfer of these credits from the township to WODA. The agreement specifies the amount and manner in which the credits are allocated and provides administrative terms, including indemnification, electronic signatures, and provisions for amendment or termination. Now, there's the attorney.
A number of the communities my office represents, it's Highland, White Lake, and Waterford, and all the other communities, and I recommend you do the same, are objecting to the indemnification language that's in this agreement because townships are not authorized by law to indemnify anybody. We have reached out to SMART to get that modified. We have not heard back yet. So my suggestion is if you're going to move forward with an approval, is to subject it to approval of the township attorney, and then authorize the supervisor to sign. And that will give me the opportunity to work with SMART to remove and or modify as needed the indemnification provision before it's signed.
Yeah, I think what they've done is they've taken a standard agreement that's been going on for 10 years.
This is the same agreement every year?
Oh, yeah.
And nobody has called out that indemnification provision for any of the communities?
Not the indemnification.
That's interesting. I don't recall seeing
It
it.
can't be 10 years. It's been since, the three communities got together, when WODA was established. So I don't know how long that is. No, WODA wasn't before WODA. No. So it's not WODA. All right. So I guess I'll make a motion to,
Subject to the approval of the attorney.
authorize the supervisor to execute the municipal credit and community interlocal agreement with Suburban Mobility Authority for regional transportation, also known as SMART, including Exhibit A, for the purpose of transferring eligible municipal and community credits to WODA for local transit services contingent upon our attorney's final approval.
Support.
Okay, moved and supported. Anybody have any questions? Discussion?
Did I miss it where it says how much in here? It's usually like what, $1,800? Trying to find it.
So
Okay. That was it.
whatever it is what they're asking for.
Excuse me,
Right.
Supervisor, did you indicate which option you were going with in the Exhibit A?
Say that again.
The Exhibit A to this agreement requires you to select an option.
One or two on page 211. 100% of the community credits available to the community pursuant to SMART's community credit program. 100% of the municipal credits that are available to the. And then option 2 is a percentage of those. So option.
I think it's 100%. We've never held any back before, so we'll do option 1. Yes, please.
Support.
Okay, moved and supported. Vote please.
Mr. Salvia,
So, yes.
Mr. Howe,
Mr. Howe votes yes.
Mr. Charlotte,
Charlotte, yes.
Ms. Frederick,
Frederick, yes.
Clerk Flowers votes yes, Mr. Hamel,
Hamel, yes.
motion carries.
Okay, next item is consider bids for masonry repairs. This is on Steeple Hall. There's quite a bit of brick and stone pointing problems with the old building where we need to shore up some of the stone and brick with some new masonry work. And there's also a dangerous chimney that's up on the roof of the oldest part of the building, Steeple Hall. And we've got some bids to take that down, as well as to do all the pointing and brickwork repairs. So we got follow the township purchasing policy, solicited and reviewed 3 separate bids for the project. The following proposals were received. Audit Building LLC came in at $10,600. Brickman Masonry was $11,520, and Geary Masonry was $17,900. So after we reviewed the proposals, I'll make the motion that we approve the bid from Audit Building LLC in the amount of $10,600 for chimney removal, tuck pointing of the stone foundation and brick mortar repairs around the back of the porch ramp at Steeple Hall, 205 West Livingston Road, to be funded from Capital Fund 401-523-971.000, Steeple Hall improvements, and authorize the township supervisor to execute any necessary agreements.
Second.
Okay, moved and supported. Anybody have any questions? All right, vote please.
Mr. Howe,
Mr. Hall votes yes.
Mr. Sharlick,
Charlotte, yes.
Ms. Frederick,
Frederick, yes.
Clerk Flowers votes yes. Mr. Salvia,
Salvia, yes.
Mr. Hamel,
Hamel, yes.
motion carries.
Okay, so next item is a parcel of property that was located south of the Church of the Holy Spirit on Harvey Lake Road. And it's a former parcel that had one of our well structures on it that serviced Axford Acres, and the well was removed and the facilities and buildings taken down because it was adding arsenic to the drinking water above legal limits. So now the township is the owner of a vacant parcel that really should probably be in the hands of somebody that could build a home there. And so the request that I'm putting in here is to declare the surplus property, that parcel to be declared surplus property so that we can go through the process of advertising it for sale.
I make a motion to approve resolution 25-15 declaring surplus property for the property located south of the Church of Holy Spirit in Highland.
Support Salvia.
Being moved and supported. Anybody have any questions? All right, vote please.
Mr. Sharlick,
Charlotte, yes.
Ms. Frederick,
Frederick, yes.
Clerk Flowers votes yes. Mr. Salvia,
Salvia, yes.
Mr. Howe,
Mr. Hall votes yes.
Mr. Hamel,
Hamel, yes.
motion carries.
Okay. I'll just go right into the motion on this one rather than trying to describe. We have a group from Knobloch Lake. And so I'd like to make a motion to approve resolution number 25-16, tentatively determining intent to form the Knobloch Lake Special Assessment District for the control of weeds and dam maintenance in Knobloch Lake and related services pursuant to 1954 PA 188 as amended. That was a motion.
Support.
Okay, moved and supported. Anybody have any questions? All right, let's have a vote, please.
Ms. Frederick,
Frederick, yes.
Clerk Flowers votes yes. Mr. Salvia,
Salvia, yes.
Mr. Howe,
Mr. Hall votes yes.
Mr. Sharlick,
Charlotte, yes.
Mr. Hamel,
Hamel, yes.
motion carries.
Okay, now the next two items. Lisa, did you have something you wanted to discuss with us before we go into these contracts? This is for public service.
Well, I do believe that we should work on the Exhibit A's to better describe the services that are being provided and the consideration that we're paying. If you want, you could ask the board to authorize you to enter into these contracts once we work those out, or alternatively to postpone it so we can work those issues out with the Exhibit A's and bring it back to the board.
We can do it. I think move forward with proven today with the attorneys. Final acknowledgement or whatever you call it. Final opinion. All right, so I'll make a motion to this will be for community sharing. To allow the supervisor to sign the public service contract to approve the sponsorship for the amount of $8,500 to community sharing with the final opinion of the attorney. Get better words.
Yeah, it's approving the public service contract. It's not a sponsorship. You're actually
Well-
purchasing services. And yeah, final approval of the township attorney. We can work together on finalizing the document.
As stated by the attorney.
Support.
Okay, moved and supported, vote please.
Clerk Flowers votes yes. Mr. Salvia,
Salvia, yes.
Mr. Howe,
Mr. Howell votes yes.
Mr. Charlotte,
Charlotte, yes.
Ms. Frederick,
Frederick, yes.
Mr. Hamel.
Hamel, yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, so we'll do the same motion as put forth by the attorney to allow the supervisor to sign the public purpose service contract for $8,500 with final approval of the attorney. Okay, that's a motion.
Support.
Okay, supported. Vote please.
Mr. Salvia,
Salvia, yes.
Mr. Howe,
Mr. Howell, yes.
Mr. Charlotte,
Charlotte, yes.
Ms. Frederick,
Frederick, yes.
Clerk Flowers votes yes. Mr. Hamel.
Hamel, yes.
Motion carries.
Okay. Tammy, I'll let you do the next one.
So, in discussions with the auditors this year, we were advised to increase our staffing level in the accounting department by adding another part-time position there that would handle the payroll and HR administration type work. We brought this to you last month to approve posting this position. We received a handful of applications and interviewed 3 of them, and we selected Nancy Edwards to recommend to the board here for hiring for this position. The hourly wage will be $21.68. The starting date will be July 31st, 2025. And this will be part-time up to 29 hours per week.
Is that a motion?
No. Trying to make a motion. Yeah. I would move to hire Nancy Edwards at $21.68 per hour, beginning July 31st, 2025, up to 29 hours per week.
Up to or not, both times I've read here, it says not to exceed. Does that matter? Same? Remember, so just the wording we have on here. I don't know if it matters.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be the
We can change it. to
agenda
not to
police tonight,
exceed.
but that's what it says on here. I just thought make sure
Sure.
covering our bases.
Mhm.
I'll support it.
Okay, moved and supported. Vote please.
Any questions?
I was trying to speed it up. Yeah, I got a question.
Are you Nancy? No? Oh, she didn't come?
Well, go to the
you
next
didn't.
one. Be present to win.
All right, no questions. Vote please.
Let's see. Mr. Howe,
Back here again. Yes. Mr. Howell votes yes.
Mr. Charlotte,
Charlotte, yes.
Ms. Frederick,
Frederick, yes.
Clerk Flowers votes yes. Mr. Salvia,
Salvia, yes.
Mr. Hamel.
Hamel, yes.
Motion carries.
All right, next item. I make a motion to approve the budget amendment for the new hire, payroll HR administrative assistant.
Frederick, support.
Okay, moved and supported. Any discussion? All right, no discussion. We're going to vote, please.
Let's see. Mr. Charlotte,
Charlotte, yes.
Ms. Frederick,
Frederick, yes.
Clerk Flowers votes yes. Mr. Salvia,
Salvia, yes.
Mr. Howe,
Mr. Howell votes yes.
Mr. Hamel.
Hamel, yes.
Motion carries.
Can I, before we get done, I want us to see a couple things I want to say. If you don't mind, I should have done it earlier, but are you ready to do? First of all, I know we've gotten a lot of Grant's gotten a lot of accolades for the boardwalk that he put in front of Calisani's, but I think it just every time you drive by, it's amazing. So job well done. It was awesome to be at the ribbon cutting ceremony, and boy, it was hot that day, but to be able to walk across there, and excellent job there. That was so well done. So we're very, very glad to have you on the board, and obviously having your pride in Highland means a lot. So I know when you talked about building it, you said you want to do some things that would be unique to Highland or whatever way you put it. So thank you very much on that. That's well done. So I want to give Grant a big hand. That's well done. And I want to say, as always, the fireworks were amazing. And I thought, years ago we fought to get it in the budget, and we're paying for it. And I think it's just a great give back. Lots of people coming from all over. Lieutenant Schneider doing a great job with his guys. I usually go over by Salvation Army up there, and getting in and out is pretty cool. So nice job. Different style, different operation this year, but it still worked. So the good guys do a great job. So just everybody's just always so impressed. That's pretty cool that, I think we do great work. And it was pretty impressive to see the fire department leave too during the fireworks. That would get the chance to use your sirens and stuff. So that was really good. So everything went okay there, I hope. So just great job. Fireworks was, as always, great. So
I think that was somebody else lit a field on fire with fireworks, wasn't it?
I was going to ask how the zoning administrator position, have we had any that we had at the last meeting? Have we had any interest in that?
We've had some people interested, but we're still keeping it open for.
So basically we're opening that because Lisa is retiring.
Right.
But we're only going to be looking at part-time is what we're looking at right now, or?
At this point, yeah.
It seems like, I deal a lot with the zoning stuff between the planning commission and all that other stuff. So, I think if we did find the right person, Lisa is a full-time employee right now, correct? So seems like replacing her with a part-time person might be kind of difficult.
I don't know.
No?
This is kind of semi at the request of the zoning administrator. Because she felt that she actually at one point said she didn't think I needed it. So
It's only been in the last year or two, or maybe 3, where there was 2 full-time people there. It always used to be just Lisa by herself.
Because Carrie came back basically.
Yeah.
She filled up the.
okay, so
I want to also make some comments. I had a lot of comments from residents about the DDA. I didn't get a chance to chime in on that, but the work on the gardening is very, very wonderful. The people who were taking care of the pruning and did a great job, cleaned up really well. And the color, a lot of people are complimenting on the colors that are there now. And again, a lot of compliments on the fireworks from people I talked to. So well done.
all right. On that note, anything else? Meeting adjourned.